Recording.
Hello everyone. My name is Siddhant Bisway. So welcome to CUET classes. So today's topic is about aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. So this topic is actually from class 12th chemistry organic part. It is quite essential for in terms of board, in terms of any competitive examination. Okay, तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं. So after completion of this topic, you are going to understand all these kind of objectives. जैसे कि write the common and IUPAC names of different aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acid. Okay. Next, write the structure of the compounds containing functional groups, namely carbonyl and carboxyl groups. Then after some of the important methods of preparation, जो कि हमारे लिए बहुत important होगा. And उसके बाद reaction of this kind of classes of compounds. Then after physical properties, chemical properties of aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids, right? And most surprise thing and important, तो हम कह सकते कि essential भी होगा, जो कि mechanism part, ये वाला mechanism part. Clear? Next, we have to understand some various factors that is affecting the acidity of carboxylic acids and their reactions. So these are the all learning objectives which we are going to discuss. So in this unit we will study about first of all the organic compounds, which is containing the carbon and oxygen, and that is called actually carbonyl group. Carbonyl group. So this carbonyl group looks to be C double bond. Clear? And which is one of the most important functional groups in organic chemistry. जब भी हमारे पास C डबल बॉन्ड हो आएगा तो हमें बहुत ध्यान रखना होगा कि वो एल्डिहाइड है या फिर कीटोन है या फिर कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड है. So first of all we have to make sure which one is aldehyde, which one is ketone and which one is carboxylic acid. So let us take a small example through which we are going to understand the concept even better. Okay. So if this is your carbon and this carbon is attached with oxygen through a double bond, we cannot predict that this is a ketone group or aldehyde group or an acid group. So how? First of all, this carbon is attached with any other carbon or not. If it is attached with any other carbon atom, this carbon again should attach with a hydrogen. So the whole scenario is basically CO and H. In short, CHO. If this kind of scenario we are going to discuss or see, then that functional group will be called as aldehyde. जैसे कि एक कार्बन दूसरे कार्बन से और एक साइड हाइड्रोजन से जुड़ा हो, उसको हम aldehyde बोलेंगे. फिर उसके बाद कीटोन, वही वाला पैटर्न C डबल बॉन्ड O, लेकिन ये जो कार्बन है इसके दोनों बगल वाले साइड पे कार्बन ही होंगे, तो उसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? कीटोन. अगेन सेम पैटर्न C डबल बॉन्ड O, लेकिन एक साइड OH जो कि हमें थोड़ा सा अल्कोहल जैसे कि लगेगा, और दूसरे साइड कार्बन. क्लियर? लेकिन ये अल्कोहल नहीं भाई, COOH पूरा का पूरा एसिड है, मतलब कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड. Then after we are going to discuss as acyl halides and amides. These are the further concepts, but our main topic is about aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acid. One more time, let us finish all this introduction. If carbon is attached with a double bond oxygen, one side carbon and one side hydrogen, aldehyde. If this carbon is attached with oxygen but both side carbon is ketone, if one side is carbon and one side is OH, then that is called acid. I hope this is clear. Okay. So like that you are going to discuss ester and acid anhydride. So that is actually our further concept. Again we are going to complete this side, no problem. Okay. So the first topic we are going to start, that is about aldehydes and ketones, especially aldehydes. Aldehydes के कैसे nomenclature होगा, जैसे कि मान लो कोई common names कैसे decide होगा या फिर IUPAC name वगैरह वगैरह. So aldehydes and ketones are the simplest and most important carbonyl compounds. One more time, aldehydes and ketones are the simplest जैसे कोई भी आप अल्डिहाइड ले लो या फिर कोई भी आप कीटोन ले लो, जो सिंपलेस्ट होंगे वो कार्बोनिल ग्रुप से ही बिलोंग होंगे, और वो होगा हमारा अल्डिहाइड या फिर होगा कीटोन। ये थोड़ा सा इंट्रोडक्शन हो गया नोमेनक्लेचर के बारे में। तो common names actually most aldehydes are derived from the common names of the corresponding carboxylic acid। जैसे कि मान लो आपके पास कोई भी अल्डिहाइड है या फिर कोई भी कीटोन है, उसका कॉमन नाम कैसे होगा वो एक्चुअली डिपेंड कर रहा होगा किस प्रकार का कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड वहां पर है, जिसको उसने वो रिप्लेस किया होगा, वो जो सफिक्स IC, एंड दिस हैज टू बी चेंज्ड टू एन aldehyde group। फॉर एग्जांपल, let's say CH3CHO। I hope you remember from first year syllabus, that means class 11th, that is the general basic organic chemistry. CH3CHO, first of all, how many carbon? 2 carbon, right? So now basically CH3CHO. So how many carbons we know? 2 carbons. 2 carbons means the word root is basically eth, and CHO the functional group, that is aldehyde, and single bond is between the carbon, that is ethane, and aldehyde is basically Al. So the whole scenario is completely become ethanol. One more time, ethanol. But the common name is acetaldehyde. If you are unable to remember, but make sure dear student, अगर 2-3 बार आपने प्रैक्टिस कर लिया होगा तो इजीली यू कैन रिमेम्बर acetaldehyde। ओके, otherwise simply remember whenever there is CH3, अगर उसके बगल वाले कार्बन है, अगर वो कोई भी फंक्शनल ग्रुप का हो, आप याद कर सकते हो कि एसिड, जैसे कि मान लो CH3COOH, एसिटिक एसिड। सो सिमिलरली CH3CHO विल बिकम एसिटाल्डिहाइड। ठीक वैसे ये हमारा बेंजीन रिंग जो हमारा एरोमेटिक है, एंड नाउ दिस इज अटैच्ड बेसिकली अल्डिहाइड ग्रुप, क्लियर? एंड इफ दे कंबाइन टुगेदर द नेम बिकम्स बेंजीन प्लस अल्डिहाइड, दैट इज बेंजाल्डिहाइड। आई होप दिस इज क्लियर। So like that there are couple of examples is there, and this is one of your example through IPS naming I am going to discuss. 1 2 3 4, how many carbon is there? 4 carbon, and each carbon is surrounded by single bond, here also single bond, here also single bond. That means the name should end with alkane. So 4 carbon means butane, but still one of the prefix is there, bromine. So bromine in which number? 1 2 3, 3 bromo butane aldehyde group, butanal, 3 bromo butanal. But instead of IPS name, simply remember that bromo butyryldehyde, butyryldehyde. And these are the common names you should remember while you are going through the organic chemistry part. If you are unable to understand, then first go through class 11 basic organic chemistry and the nomenclature part. तो उसके बाद आपको एक ब्रीफ आइडिया मिल जाएगा भाई कैसे होता है ये सब। ओके, एंड सम ऑफ द कॉमन एग्जांपल आई हैव ब्रॉट फॉर यू बाय द वे, दैट इज योर फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल formaldehyde. Formaldehyde were really close like methanol, and this is used for preserving specimens. Okay, specimens I think bio students can easily understand. Next, acetaldehyde, which is IPS known as basically ethanol, and that is used to make acetic acid. If you don't know, then you should remember class 10th organic chemistry, that is carbon and its compounds. एक चैप्टर होगा भाई CBSE में, इसको याद कर लेना। नेक्स्ट बेंजाल्डिहाइड, एंड दिस इज नोन एज बेंजीन कार्बाल्डिहाइड, ये है भाई IPS में, एंड दिस इज एक्चुअली यूज्ड इन परफ्यूम्स। परफ्यूम्स तो मालूम होगा भाई, वाइल्ड स्टोन डियो वगैरह। नेक्स्ट butyryldehyde, which is known as also butanol, and this is found in nature. Okay, so these are couple of common examples of aldehyde what I have discussed right now, and this is basically the introduction part of aldehyde. Now IPS naming. According to class 11th, whatever the rules you have understood, the same rules is there. That means select the longest carbon chain, then after is there any branch, then put the minimum number through the branch, then how is there single bond or double bond or triple bond is there, then find that. And what is the maximum number of bonds according to that name will be there. If you don't know, then I will put another video so that you can easily understand through the namings. Otherwise, through a couple of examples, try to get through the concept how basically IUPAC naming is occurred. Okay. Next, the numbering of the ring carbon atoms start from the carbon atom and attach to the aldehyde group. That means whenever there will be aldehyde group, the numbering should start from there. Like if you remember that Amitabh Bachchan's dialogue, हम जहाँ पे खड़े होते हैं लाइन में से शुरू होता है, right? So similarly aldehyde and acid, that means carboxylic acid वाला group, जहाँ पर भी होंगे numbering वहीं से होगा, right? The name of the simplest aromatic aldehyde carrying an aldehyde group of benzene ring is basically benzene carbaldehyde. If any aromatic ring, aromatic means by benzene ring, अगर कोई भी benzene ring से aldehyde वाला group जुड़ा हुआ, मतलब simplest aldehyde, उसका नाम क्या होगा? benzene carbaldehyde. Okay, but however the common name of the benzaldehyde is also accepted by IUPAC. That means IUPAC also can accept. If you don't know what is IUPAC, it is an organization through which namings will be provided. Okay, that is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. ये थोड़े बहुत introduction part, right? Okay. Now coming to some of the NCERT ditto copy paste examples I have brought for you, which will help you to understand the concept even better through the concept area. Let's say CH3CHO. Again I told you, C double bond O means we cannot predict this is aldehyde or ketone or carboxylic acid, because this carbon is surrounded by this hydrogen and another carbon. So if one side carbon, one side hydrogen, simply remember that aldehyde group is there. Okay. Now most of the students are getting confused. This carbon is surrounded by double bond. Is there any alkene group? No, bhai. If carbon is surrounded by carbon with a double bond, then only alkene. Similarly, carbon is surrounded by carbon with a triple bond, then alkyne. If carbon is single bond, then you don't need to understand, or maybe don't need to worry about it, whether that is alkene or alkyne. Clear? So now this particular name will become ethanol. How basically? 2 carbon means eth, carbon single bond ethane, aldehyde group suffix al, ethane plus al, ethanol. And according to IUPAC naming, ethane name ETHANE and aldehyde AL. So you have to eliminate last alphabet or last vowel of this particular ethane to add with this particular AL, and so that the final answer will come out ethanol. Okay, so another example I have brought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 means longest carbon chain should be hept, and each carbon atom is surrounded by single bond. You can clearly see that. That's why heptane, right? Since aldehyde group is there, heptanol. So all of the 70% part has been completed. Still one branch is there, CH3. Remember, alkane ka behan bhai, alkyl, that is methyl, and this is bromine, that is your bromo. So numbering from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 bromo, 3 methyl. Sir, why not 3 methyl, 4 bromo? Because whenever there are multiple prefix, then you should follow alphabetical order, right? Now there is a small question for you. चलो बताओ, B पहले आती है या फिर M बाद में आता है? Okay. Next question. This is your cyclic वाला structure, थोड़ा सा देख लीजिए. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is your cyclohexane, and since aldehyde group is there, carbaldehyde. Clear? So these are all 11th class concept, but still it is there for the naming parties in class 12th. And this is some of the couple of examples of structures of aldehydes and the common names and the IUPAC names, which already I have detailedly discussed, through which we are going to get a brief idea regarding aldehydes and their nomenclature. Now this is the ketone part, and that part we are going to discuss in the next segment, so I am not going to interrupt in between aldehydes. So wait for a while, ketone part will be discussed later. Now these are some questions I have brought for you. Let's say how we can connect. What is the IUPAC name of CH3CHO? First of all, IUPAC it is asking. IUPAC, not common name. CH3CHO. How many carbon is there? 2 carbon. Which functional group? Aldehyde wala functional group. 2 carbon means eth na? Meth, eth, pro, bute. So here also, if any student wants to eliminate either options, directly he can eliminate simply B option. Okay. So the final answer is ethanol. Next, CH3, CO, CH3. CH3, CO, CH3. लिखिए भाई
लिखिए
right. Okay. So the second question, that is our IPC name of CH3, CO, CH3. Let's do the structure. CH3, C, double bond O, next CH3. If you clearly understand, this CO bond is surrounded by carbon and also another carbon. So can we say this is right now ketone? And the simplest ketone, do you know? That is propanol. If you don't know, today onwards remember. The simplest ketone and the first family of ketone, that is actually propanol. Okay. So the option number B. Now question number 3. What is the correct name of CH3, CH2, CH2, CHO? Again, this is your aldehyde wala group, right? Aldehyde group. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 carbon is there. 4 carbon means what? Butanol, right? Next. Next question. The IUPAC name of CH3 twice. That means 2 CH3 is there. Okay. And CHO. It is asking 2 methyl propanol, 3 methyl propanol, and isobutanol and butanol, right? So the answer will be basically 2 methyl propanol. How basically 2 methyl propanol? 1, 2, 3, and another one. Still CH3 is there. So you have to break it. Then after get your answer. Clear? So 4 questions I have done it for you. The remaining question is for your homework. You can easily take the screenshot. Otherwise you can just practice by yourself. Clear? And these are all of the answers of those 10 questions. It's a practice session for you. Now coming to structure of carbonyl group. Structure of carbonyl group. Okay. Structure of carbonyl group. How basically the appearance or the look of any carbonyl group. Carbonyl group means what? C double bond O. Now dear student, remember that whenever there will be only single bond by carbon, then only we can say sp3 hybridization. If there is a double bond is there and the remaining part will be single bond, then that will be called as sp2 hybridized carbon. Okay, so like that our carbonyl group is basically sp2 hybridized and forms 3 sigma bonds. How many? 3 sigma bonds. This is not important though, but you should remember according to the MCQ pattern. Because the fourth valence electron of carbon remains in its p orbital. If you don't know what is p orbital, because after doing the electronic configuration of carbon, we will get it 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2, because carbon's atomic number is 6. Since the vacant p orbital which makes carbon to form single bonds with monovalent atom, double bonds with divalent atom, and triple bonds with a trivalent atom. So this is one thing you should remember. And the surprise thing is basically the bond angle is actually 120 degree between this carbonyl group. That is one of the most highly essential MCQ in terms of any competitive examination. And this is the appearance. You can clearly see that this is your carbon and try to match the bond with the oxygen. This is sigma, but ultimately this carbon with oxygen, it will become a double bond. At last it will become a double bond, and which makes the angle around 120 degree. means from here to here to here. You can clearly understand. Okay, so that is a kind of 3D animation through which we can easily understand what is the structure of carbonyl group. Next, the carbon-oxygen double bond is polarized. That means it is due to higher electronegativity of oxygen. First of all, if you don't know what is the meaning of electronegativity, let me tell you. The character through which an atom wants to gain electron, and between carbon and oxygen, both are actually non-metal, but oxygen has highest electronegative character as compared to carbon. So ultimately, carbon will become partially positive charge and oxygen will become partially negative charge, and this is due to called polarization. That means plus charge with carbon, minus charge with oxygen. This much only you need to understand. Otherwise, through the concept you will easily understand even better. Now coming to the highly essential topic of aldehydes and ketones, especially aldehydes we are discussing right now. So the first preparation of aldehydes. Mostly students are skipping this particular segment. Why? Because they are unable to get through what's supposed to be done or what is the starting material to prepare aldehyde or ketone. So without wasting any time, let's go through it. First of all, from acyl chloride. Acyl chloride means you have to take any benzene ring and the functional group should be COCl. COCl. I repeat, COCl. Again I am telling, CO means it is not ketone, because you have to see clearly what is next, that means left or right to this particular carbon. Now this particular carbon is surrounded by one fluorine atom, another one benzene ring. Clear? So if you combine basically COCl, it becomes acyl chloride, or you can say acid chloride. So from this particular acid chloride or acyl chloride, we can get our aldehyde. Sir, how? Let us go through the statement. So acyl chloride or acid chloride is hydrogenated. Hydrogenated means what? We have to supply hydrogen or add with hydrogen through this particular acid chloride, so that it will give rise to a particular aldehyde. But this is not possible alone. We have to add some catalyst, जैसे कि palladium on barium sulfate. You know what is the meaning of catalyst? They don't usually participate in the reaction. That means they are not able to give rise to the byproduct. They simply forward or makes reaction faster or lower, you can say. So again one more time, let's go through this concept. Just simply take any acid chloride, just make it hydrogenated, that means add with hydrogen, but over some catalyst, that is palladium on barium sulfate, it will give rise to this particular aldehyde. You can clearly see this CHO, because our main motto or main intention is basically to prepare the aldehyde. And do you know what is the naming reaction for this? This is called Rosenmond reduction. Sir, why reduction? Because reduction means according to class 10, जैसे कि आपने पढ़ा होगा, either addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. जैसे कि हाइड्रोजन यहाँ पर ऐड हो रहा है तो उसको रिडक्शन भी कह सकते हैं. ओके. नेक्स्ट, फ्रॉम नाइट्राइल्स एंड एस्टर्स. मान लो आपके पास कोई नाइट्राइल है, जैसे कि RCN. R मतलब एनी अल्काइल ग्रुप, और उसको आपने रिड्यूस किया. रिड्यूस मतलब रिडक्शन किया, राइट? विद सम कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग इमीन और इमाइन, सम प्रोनाउंसिएशन इज देयर आल्सो. विद स्टेनस क्लोराइड. स्टेनस का मतलब टीन SN. ओके, ये SN क्लोराइड होगा, स्टेनस क्लोराइड. In the presence of hydrochloric acid, and which on hydrolysis means in the presence of water, it gives corresponding aldehyde. One more time, आपके पास कोई भी नाइट्राइल्स हो, उसको आपने रिड्यूस किया किसके साथ? स्टेनस क्लोराइड के साथ, और किसके साथ? हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड के साथ. आपको एक पर्टिकुलर इंटरमीडिएट मिल गया जो कि हमारा हो गया इमाइन, राइट? उसको तुमने हाइड्रोलिसिस किया, उसके बाद एल्डिहाइड, आपका कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग एल्डिहाइड मिल जाएगा. And this reaction is called Stephan reaction. सर ये नेमिंग रिएक्शन इंपॉर्टेंट है, बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. क्लियर? नेक्स्ट, alternatively nitriles are also selectively reduced by diisobutyl aluminum hydride, which is shortly known as DIBALH. This is also one of the reduction process of nitrile group. You can clearly see this nitrile group, and you just add or reduce in the presence of DIBALH. What is the meaning? Diisobutyl aluminum hydride. Then after directly you will get your aldehyde group. Anyhow, your main motor should get it the aldehyde group. I hope this is clear. Now this time instead of R, we have taken any aldehyde group. Sorry, alkyl group. Clear? And this alkyl group is with CN, means this is your nitrile. Again, you just reduce in the presence of DiBlH. That means in the presence of water also, you will get your desired aldehyde. So these are a couple of reactions, and this reaction, do you know what is that called? Stephen reaction. What is that called? Stephen reaction. Now another example of this particular segment, that is DiBlH. You can clearly understand through this concept. There is no need to waste time upon this. Now the third segment or third preparation method through which we can get our aldehyde. What's that? From hydrocarbons. From hydrocarbons. And hydrocarbons, there is a new topic for you maybe, but you have already gone through class 11 concept hydrocarbon. That means any hydrocarbon means whenever there is only carbon and hydrogen. It could be your alkane family or alkane family or alkyne family. So let's see how we can connect to this. So by oxidation of a methyl benzene, first of all you have to take any kind of methyl benzene means let's say hydrocarbon, okay, and simply just need to oxidation. Oxidation means what? Either you need to add oxygen, or you can say electron will be loosed, or you can say oxidation number will be increased. Couple of things will be there, but this time the oxidation should in the presence of strong oxidizing agents, and which will oxidize toluene. Sir, what is toluene? Just now we have discussed methyl benzene, right? And this methyl benzene has another name, that is toluene, and its derivatives to benzoic acid. So let us go through this, but this is only possible by using some catalyst also, जैसे कि use of chromyl chloride CrO2Cl2, and this chromyl chloride actually oxidizes methyl group to a chromium complex, and which on again hydrolysis gives the corresponding benzaldehyde. One more time, we want our benzaldehyde means aldehyde, and how can we get it? First of all, take this particular methyl benzene, and this methyl benzene should be passed with chromyl chloride, and this chromyl chloride will oxidize to whom? Methyl benzene group, and it will form a chromium complex. After formation of this complex, again we have to take for the hydrolysis, then we can easily get our benzaldehyde. Let's see how the reaction occurs in the next segment. Let's say this is our toluene, as I already spoke about it. Toluene means what? Methyl benzene, okay. CrO2Cl2, as I said that this is our chromyl chloride. One more time, chromyl chloride. It's a catalyst, by the way, in the presence of CH2. So what is CH2? Carbon disulfide. To make the reaction in a proper order, simply. So after combining the first segment, this methyl benzene with this dichromyl chloride, you will get your chromium complex. Chromium complex. So how to remember this chromium complex? Simply, CH3, so remove one hydrogen or two hydrogen according to your wish. Now CrO2Cl2, CrO2Cl2. So from here Cl, and from here hydrogen. So remove, it will become HCl. What is the remaining part? You just note it down at here. You can clearly see that CrO2, how many chromium? One chromium. O2 means two oxygen. OCRO. Can you write? CrO2 means OCRO, right? The remaining part as it is, it will be there. Thereafter hydrolysis means in the presence of water, and whenever there will be hydrolysis, hydronium ion will be there, H3O plus ion. Clear? Then after it will form your respective aldehyde. So where are the remaining part? Remaining part will be our unwanted product, because our main product is aldehyde, and which aldehyde we just produced? Benzaldehyde. And this reaction or this special kind of reaction is known as Itard reaction. What's that? Itard reaction. Because usually question वाले आपको क्या पूछेंगे? What is Itard reaction? By that time you should remember how basically any aldehyde or any hydrocarbon we are going to take with chromium chloride, then it will form a chromium complex, then after again hydrolysis, then after aldehyde. Next, use of chromic oxide. Chromic oxide means CrO3, right? So let's say again we have to take toluene and or other substituted toluene, clear, and is converted to benzalidine diacetate. That means it will form another segment or complex of this particular chromium compound, which again on further hydrolysis it will form the aldehyde. Don't understand? One more time telling you. The last time what we have understood through the Itard reaction, the same thing is going to be copy-paste. Nothing else. But that time you have understood through chromyl chloride. But this time you are going to understand through chromic oxide. Chromic oxide. Nothing else. So by this you can easily prepare your desired aldehydes. So these are a couple of preparation methods through which you have understood how basically aldehydes are prepared. Now this is one of the highly essential type reaction, that is Gutterman-Koch reaction. So when benzene or its derivative is treated with carbon monoxide, I repeat, benzene or its derivative, that means benzene का other कोई भी product हो सकता है, अगर वो treat हो सकता है किसके साथ, carbon monoxide and hydrogen chloride in the presence of anhydrous, that means it is not hydrated, anhydrous aluminium chloride or cuprous chloride, then it gives benzaldehyde or substituted benzaldehyde. जैसे कि मान लो ये आपका रिएक्शन है बेंजीन, क्लियर, उसको हमने पास किया कार्बन मोनोक्साइड और हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड के साथ, किसके प्रेजेंस से, anhydrous AlCl3, anhydrous AlCl3, directly it will produce aldehyde group, and this reaction is called as Gutterman-Koch reaction. So how many times need to be practiced? At least twice or thrice in a week. You should remember this kind of naming reaction or even the preparation. One more time, any benzene और benzene के derivatives पास हो गए किसके साथ, कार्बन मोनोक्साइड एंड हाइड्रोक्लोरिन के साथ और हाइड्रोजन क्लोराइड के साथ in the presence of anhydrous aluminium chloride or cuprous chloride. Directly it will give you the benzaldehyde or even any substituted aldehyde group with respect to benzene. This particular segment is known as Gutterman-Koch reaction. And these are some of the important things you need to understand. If the first or the starting material is alkene, if you do ozonolysis, it will give rise to aldehyde or ketone. These are kind of mnemonics. There is no need to worry about it. Once you go through the preparation method, then after you can watch this kind of slides. Okay. The starting material is nitrile. Then the reduction process is like this. Then you can get your aldehyde. And this reaction is called as Stephan reaction. Whatever the things already I have discussed, I just made a small mnemonics through which you will easily understand what is happened to done. There are some of the important board questions. You can easily take the screenshot or through which you are going to understand. So I hope you understand the whole segment. And this kind of things you need to improvise for your upcoming competitive examination like CUET and also for other examination. I hope this is a complete understandable topic. So thank you so much.